NASA Edge, an inside and outside look at all things NASA. Joining us today, our good friend Mic Woltman from the Launch Services Program at NASA Kennedy Space Center. Mic, how's it going?
It's going great, Blair. Thanks for having me today. This teleworking situation has been challenging, but I'm glad I could be here to support you guys today.
Oh, that's excellent. That's a great point. We're all under these new conditions, but the interesting thing for you is that you're working on a lot of things that are mission critical. So there's a lot of vital work that's continuing. But I'm just wondering if you can update us on how that's going, because most of us are able to do that from home. But I'm guessing for launch services, launching rockets is pretty much still got to take place in the traditional way that it does.
Yeah, that's correct. We have about 90 to 95% of our employees are teleworking right now in the Launch Services Program. That brings its own challenges, as you say, as we continue to support the missions that we've got going this year and next. However, the LSP team has stepped up to the challenge and continues to perform very well, supporting the required reviews and walkdowns and things that are needed with our launch vehicle contractors for each mission. We're currently processing the Mars 2020 mission out with the United Launch Alliance, and we do have a small team of engineers that have to go in each day, taking all the precautions they can to support the processing of that launch vehicle. We have the Centaur here at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, but the booster will be arriving in late May, and the team will be there for offload and continue testing and processing of that. So we have taken a hard look at all the stuff we need to do and tried to minimize the amount of people that need to be out there. However, there are folks that do still need to go out and process and test that vehicle to keep things moving for a July launch date. We also have been working with SpaceX and United Launch Alliance at their production facilities for our upcoming missions. We have Sentinel-6, which will be launching in November. We've been working on that vehicle out in Hawthorne, California with the SpaceX team, and also processing Landsat 9 in Decatur, Alabama with United Launch Alliance. That's a March 2021 mission, but we're starting to build that vehicle up right now. So we have a small team in Decatur also following that, making sure things are going well. As far as everything else going on with LSP, we are excited about the new Gateway Logistics Service contract that was just announced to SpaceX on a Falcon 9 Heavy. That's a significant step in the agency's Artemis program, and it's very important for LSP also, as we'll be working with Gateway, bringing our expertise of launch vehicles to that mission. So LSP is staying busy even in this time of telework, and we are finding ways to get the work done to support our spacecraft customers.
Mic, considering all these missions that you have scheduled, how are you maintaining all the checkouts and all the maintenance and tests and everything? I know that you're sending people on site, but how are you making sure that something's not missed as we transfer from the old way of doing things to this kind of new, modified, scaled down, quarantine version of preparing for rocket launches?
So what's unique in the industry, Blair, is a couple years ago, a lot of our contractors actually started going to online procedures and online nonconformances and editable processes that they have. So we are able to actually log into their systems, work with them, and see some of the processes and steps that are occurring in the work orders as they get done. So we're actually performing this week a completed vehicle hardware acceptance review with United Launch Alliance on the Mars 2020 booster. We are able to do that all virtually with the team, thanks to technology and ULA going to this online work order system. So in conjunction with that and sending the folks to the launch site to follow things, we are able to verify everything we need to get and make sure that the booster and the Centaur are ready to go to support our Mars 2020 mission.
And of course, when it comes to launching rockets, it's okay to take more time to make sure that everything's done safely and correctly.
That's absolutely true. The more time we take, the better. As you said, we make sure we don't miss anything. And I can't compliment the NASA team and our contractor team on SpaceX and ULA side that we're working with, and how well they are working together to make sure everything is covered and that we have a mission success for each one of these missions that we're working on.
Okay, great. So just circling back, I wonder if you could give a brief update on some very important upcoming launches. First with SpaceX with Dragon, and then Mars 2020, and then of course any others that are immediately on your plate in terms of getting them ready for launch.
Yeah, absolutely. The team continues to follow all the commercial launches. We just had the Starlink launch a couple days ago here at Kennedy Space Center, and I had a small team who logged in virtually to the telemetry systems and followed the launch and did a post-flight data review to verify that everything worked correctly on the Falcon 9 rocket. We do that for every launch vehicle to make sure we're ready for the next NASA mission. And one of our next NASA missions on Falcon 9, as you recently heard probably, our administrator announced the Demo 2 mission on SpaceX's Falcon 9, May 27th, which is going to return humans to space from KSC here. We are so excited about that and getting ready for that mission. And LSP has a role in Demo 2 also. We are partnering with our colleagues to make sure that the launch vehicle side is ready and processed correctly as they get ready to make to Dragon. And then we're combining together as one NASA to make sure that we get humans back to space from Kennedy Space Center. Our other mission that you mentioned is Mars 2020, the Perseverance rover. We are so excited about that mission coming up in July. We are processing Perseverance right now over in the airlock, and everything is going great. We've had a small team of engineers rotating out and working with the JPL folks, making sure the rover and the helicopter that's on board are being processed and tested correctly. The helicopter was tested and placed in its final position underneath the rover on April 6th, and that all went really well. The team's continuing to get everything ready to close up Perseverance for its encapsulation later in May. They've begun their powered descent vehicle integration, and they're getting ready to put the back shell on. They'll do some more testing with the back shell integrated, and then the team will move forward in late May to install Perseverance inside the heat shield, which will be one of the last steps before the final encapsulation to get ready to make to the Atlas V for a July launch. Again, the LSP family has been working great with our contractors and proceeding forward.
That's awesome. We're also looking forward to those launches, and obviously I'm a little frustrated. I personally don't own a drone, and probably NASA will be flying one on Mars before I ever actually get one here. So that's probably good for the neighbors and safety reasons, not to have me flying a drone, but really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we are too. We're excited about the helicopter, Blair. That's one of the best things we can see on the Mars Perseverance mission, and I think the whole nation is excited to see what happens with that mission.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for coming on today. Great update, and we look forward to hearing more, especially as we get close to the Mars 2020 launch.
Yeah, absolutely. Blair, thanks for having me today, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing to share what NASA's doing with the country and those around during this time too. I appreciate everything you guys continue to work on. Thank you for having us today.
No worries, sir. You're watching NASA Edge, an inside and outside look at all things NASA.
This is an historic moment, Blair, and correct me if I'm wrong, because we've had over 185 shows. This will be the first interview where the guests and the host will be wearing NASA Edge shirts.
Oh, that's incredible. That's true.
I do what I can do to support you guys. So